Today is a question and answer video. I know a lot of you have been waiting for this. And what I did was I tend to answer questions in I tend to carry on with questions, all right? So I try to answer them to the best of my ability and as fully as possible. So I chose 3 questions that I know I'm going to talk for a while about because I have a lot to say about all 3 of them. And there's one question that's on the side just in case I have enough time. Still have time in the video, okay? So the first one that I get all the time, okay? And I've talked about this before, but what are your thoughts on short-term Suboxone use? All right. Now, before I go any further, this is not medical advice. I'm not a medical doctor. I'm not a healthcare professional whatsoever. This is just my opinion on these questions. Being a recovering addict for over 7 years and speaking with thousands and thousands of people about recovery, addiction over the past 7 years, 6+ years. All right. So, what are my thoughts on short-term Suboxone use? Short-term Suboxone use is an ideal situation. Now, I say that extremely carefully because I try to keep people away from Suboxone to the best of my ability because I know an addict's personality, I know their mind, I know how it works. When you take a substance that takes away withdrawal symptoms, all right, that can be prescribed, but at the same time, if you stay on this drug, it'll give you much worse withdrawal symptoms, and you can look that up. That's not just me saying that. It's a slippery slope because pretty much what you're trying to do is avoid the withdrawals. So the way I like to explain how Suboxone works is that you have the mu-opioid receptors in the brain. So imagine having a circle, a triangle, and a square. All right. So opiates, when you take opiates, you're getting high. A circle, a square, and a triangle flood your brain. And they fill these mu-opioid receptors in the brain. Right. So you're high. You're getting all the effects of being doped out of your mind, and you go on your merry way. Now, when you start going through withdrawals, there's nothing filling those receptors. You start feeling like shit. You have full-blown withdrawal symptoms, and some people try Suboxone. Now, Suboxone, what it does is it fills those receptors. So you'll have a fake circle, a fake square, and a fake triangle that fit, but they don't have the full-on effect that most opioids will. All right. Technically, you won't get high, but there's many people that say that they do get high off Suboxone. So what you're doing is you're filling those receptors, you're avoiding withdrawal symptoms, but it has a very long half-life. So how do I put this without? The problem is an addict's mind is they want things now. They want it done immediately. They don't want to deal with the pain. And it's very easy to stay on Suboxone once you start it, okay? Because you know that if you just take this pill, you won't have withdrawals. You can, have it prescribed. Most people won't abuse it. And you can go about your life. You can, carry a steady job. You can be a part of your family, so on and so forth. The issue is down the road, okay? Where you're stuck on this stuff because you know how intense the withdrawal symptoms are. So as a short-term thing, if you could take it for short-term and take it at a very low dose and only take it to just, help with some of the withdrawal symptoms, sure, that's an ideal situation. Do I recommend it? Absolutely not. And there's reasons why I don't. Because far too many times people have tried to do that and they stay on it long-term. Okay? And then they're hitting me up a year later saying, why on earth did I even try this shit? Why did I do it? Now I'm much worse off than I ever was. I was avoiding withdrawal symptoms that are easy compared to this. Now, I don't necessarily agree when people say that kind of stuff, but you delayed the inevitable. I mean, you could have just gone through the withdrawals then instead of prolonging the whole situation and now having to go through withdrawals at some point in your life. Unless you want to stay on this stuff forever, which most people don't want to be tied to a substance forever. They don't want to be tied to something that if they don't take, they completely fall apart. But it's all personal opinion. I mean, if you want to live that life, that's up to you. If you are the type of person that was a chronic relapser facing death, hell, Suboxone will save your life. Okay, so will methadone. But for the average addict who, relapses a couple times and, they don't want to deal with the withdrawal symptoms because they're afraid of they fear the symptoms and the depression and everything like that, they go into Suboxone and they're stuck on it. So that's my thoughts on that. Kind of brief, but I pretty much talk about that once every 6 months. My thoughts on that. And of course I get backlash from people, but I really don't care because you're not the ones getting calls all the time from people who are pissed that they went that route. Well, not just pissed, but crying on the phone because they went that route. My thoughts on rapid opioid or opiate detox. Now, rapid opiate detox, what they do is they put you under anesthesia, they pump some drugs in you, they speed up the withdrawal process, you wake up, clean bill of health, you don't have any withdrawal symptoms, you go on your merry way. Very expensive, and the success rate's not good. The thing is that ideally we would all love to go to sleep, wake up, and not have any problems. But the truth of the matter is that you're speeding up the process. It puts a huge strain on your organs and your body. Just imagine the withdrawal symptoms you're feeling while you're going through it, while you're awake. They speed it up so it intensifies the withdrawal symptoms, and they have to put you out because your body can't handle it. Your consciousness would go apeshit. You lose your damn mind if they sped it up while you were awake. Okay, so they have to put you under. Now imagine how much stress that puts on your body. All right, it's not going to be good. There have been deaths linked to it. It's just it's a dangerous thing to do. It's a dangerous strain to put on your body, and from the people I've talked to who have done it, which is a lot, some success stories, of course. There's always some success stories because there's always the people that will see one of my videos when I talk about it and they'll tell me how they did it and it worked well for them. But for the most part, most people say that, they still had all the, the mental issues, the depression, the anxiety, and those are the things that usually are the biggest problem. So you just footed a bill for between $3,000 and $8,000 for this rapid opiate detox, but it doesn't take away all the symptoms. Okay, it takes away the physicals. You wake up, you're still gonna feel a little not right, but it's good to have some withdrawal symptoms. Of course, it's not good to feel like total ass, but it's good to have at least something so you can look back on and say, that sucked. I don't want to do that again. So, not a huge advocate for rapid opiate detox. I think you should just stay away from it. It just puts too much of a strain on the body. Simple as that. Next question. This is a kind of a longer question, and it ties back to what I said earlier. It says, I get so annoyed when I hear people say that my dose is nothing and that you should try detoxing from this drug at this dose. It makes me feel dumb asking for help. What are your thoughts on this? And I know exactly what this person's talking about because it happens all the time, especially in comment section on the videos, where someone will bring up a question like, yeah, I'm detoxing from this drug at this dose, and then somebody will chime in and be like, seriously? You have a problem with that dose, with that drug? Like, why don't you try detoxing off of 5 years of methadone at 200 milligrams? And what do I think about that? I think you're an asshole. I really do. Like, it pisses me off when you have people that are trying to get better, okay? They're trying to ask questions and get through their withdrawals. All of us are different. People have different pain thresholds. People deal with things differently. And for somebody to sit on their fucking high horse and tell somebody else, oh, you should try to do it this way, or imagine you were on this, you wouldn't even be able to handle. Eat shit and shut up. Okay, I don't usually talk like this on videos, but it pisses me off to no end because they're not trolling. These aren't trolls saying this. These are people who have been through it that are putting other people down that are asking for help. And nothing pisses me off more than that. Okay? Just because you're in recovery now and you found your way, don't ever put somebody down that's trying to get help. Ever. That's just not what you're supposed to do. And when I see people do that, I want to jump through the screen and jump through the screen. Okay? It just angers me to no end. So never put your dose up to somebody else's dose. Never put up whatever drug you're doing to somebody else. It just doesn't work that way. Okay? I mean, I've talked with people who have, been on 20 milligrams of Vicodin over like 10, 15 years. And it's like, I don't even know how the drug still works on the body because you do gain a tolerance. And they asked me how their withdrawal's going to be. I'm saying it's going to suck. Your withdrawal's going to be tough. I mean, you've been on this drug for so long that your body is so used to having this drug. So when you start to weigh the weight of how tough the withdrawal is going to be, you can't really do it. I mean, there's certain ways you could try to do it. You could say like, yeah, the longer you're on a drug, the harder it's going to be. The more of the drug, like you're taking copious amounts of this shit over a year, 2 years, if you're up to like 400 milligrams of oxycodone over 2 years, 3 years, that's going to be tough, okay? But so is 20 milligrams over 10 years. That's a long time to be on something for your brain to rely on a chemical to produce certain things for it and not having to kickstart its own chemicals. That's a long time for it to be dormant. But when I see other people put other people down that are in recovery and not just trolling, it pisses me off. So don't do it. Don't do it on my videos because I'll delete you. And I'll delete everything you say because you have no business talking to people who are actually looking for help. So I'm glad I put that out there. And it's over 10 minutes, so I'm not going to do the last question. But I wanted to talk about these three. The first two more so because, those questions come up pretty much every day. Those questions come up. But the last one, it comes up every once in a while. And it's just something that I am very passionate about because there's not so much that angers me. That is one of the things that really anger me. So I wanted to touch on it. So if you have more questions, you can email them to ryan@compsupport.com. I will share a question and answer video probably at the end of next week, if not the week after. Next week's going to be normal because Christmas is on Sunday. So I will do a video Monday. So I'll be back on Monday. If you want to share your story, I got a good amount of stories. I'll probably share most of them next week. But if you want to share your story, you can email me at ryan@compsupport.com. In the subject line, put YouTube story, my story. Let me know if you want to use your first or last name and if you want to stay anonymous. Also coming up is New Year's. And New Year's is one of the biggest times of the year for people to take back their life, start fresh, a new beginning, a new year. So, of course, I'm going to be doing videos on, starting the withdrawal, taking your life back, and being a kick-ass human being. All right, so question, comments below, leave some advice, and I will see you guys on Monday. If you celebrate Christmas, Merry Christmas. If you celebrate Hanukkah, you've been celebrating it already, so Happy Hanukkah. Happy Kwanzaa. Happy, what else is out there? I don't really know. I'm not too keen on other religions, so whatever you celebrate, I hope you enjoy yourself, stay safe, stay clean, and I'll see you guys on Monday. All right?